but I'm so glad that we can be welcoming you tonight.
Well, absolutely. I'm happy to be with you as well. Would you like for me to just get into it? I'm sorry, I'm in between votes, and I hope that you all can hear me, but because I'm on the House floor, I have to keep a mask on. That's also why I don't have my camera on. I had hoped to be able to be in virtual community with all of you, but we're in a very long voting series, and so for that, I apologize. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Yes.
And really appreciate that you're able to join us between the votes and all of the work that you're doing. I know you're one of our champions, really working for racial justice and economic justice and peace. And you have so many wonderful proposed bills. So if you'd like to just get right into it, I want to make sure we're respectful of your time.
No, I certainly will. But before I do that, because I don't know how to be anybody else but me, I just need to hold space for the most recent police involved shooting of Adam Toledo, while we're also holding space for Dante Wright and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and countless others. And I think it only befitting as I come to sit at this virtual table with mass peace action, that we hold space for the many cycles of violence and trauma that continue to be perpetuated within communities, our country, and globally. It is good to be with you. I want to offer a heartfelt gratitude to my friend Cole Harrison and the Mass Peace family at large for the work you do daily. You have been on the front lines of organizing and mobilizing and advocating for a truly more just, equitable, and peaceful world. And I think you've done that with a racial lens as well, which I certainly appreciate. And as I told you the last time we were all physically together, you were all members of the squad, because the squad is anyone doing the work of building a more equitable and just world. I'm really grateful for your ongoing partnership. The past year has certainly been a difficult one for our families and our communities, but we have pulled each other through. I also see my friend Jonathan King here, who held one of the first house parties for me, and has done that for so many. So I'll get in trouble if I start naming names, but I didn't want to not acknowledge the King family. That home is hallowed ground, and has brought many of us together in community and doing the work of seeking justice. So it's good to see you. But look, this has been a year of unprecedented hurt, and we have pulled one another through. We have done that through acts of caretaking and mutual aid. And I know that all of you speak my language, my love language, which is policy, because you know that policy is personal, and that what happens in Washington has a profound impact on our ability both to live and to thrive. Now, each tax day, and I was with you all, I think that was just last year, it's hard to keep up, we gather to affirm that our federal budget is a statement of our values, and we come together to fight for budgets and policies which center the humanity and the dignity of all people. Earlier this year, Congress passed the American Rescue Plan. And while our work is far from done, I'll tell you, I am very encouraged that we are embracing this governing moment, standing in our power, and proving that in America, we can do bold, necessary, progressive, and structural things. And might I also add, because of the good movement building work done by people like Lindsay and Deborah and Alan and Emily, many of these ideas that they try to marginalize are actually popular. So that is a testament to the power of movement building. So what I affirm in this moment is that it is possible to write budgets that value Black lives. It is possible to defund endless wars and to fund our schools. It is possible to write a tax code that values our caregivers. It is possible to tax the rich and to invest in our communities. If it feels uncomfortable, it's because we've never done it before. We are at a real inflection point in this nation. And it is a credit, again, to generations of organizing in the face of deep harm and adversity. As my sister, co-founder of the Black Voters Matter Project, Latasha Brown, who was one of those Black women on the front lines delivering Georgia twice, reminds us that organized power is realized power. And so in this moment, we are at an inflection point, and we have the power because of the power of the movement, a movement that met the moment. And now it's time for government to be responsive to the demands of that movement that is multiracial and multi-generational and issues-based activists. The most marginalized of Black and brown and low income and AAPI, Indigenous, disabled, young, LGBTQ people came together, met the moment, and made it possible for democracy to breathe another day. And in this moment, I believe we're actually acting like it. What is the point of having the muscle if you don't flex it? What is the point of being in power if you don't legislate like it, if you don't lead like it? So for starters, I think it's long past time for a federal job guarantee. This year, I rolled out a resolution which builds on the work of civil rights and economic justice leaders, calling to make good on a long unfulfilled promise, a legal right to a decent, union, fair wage job for every person who calls this country home. And my federal job guarantee goes far beyond roads and bridges and calls on us to salary the critical caregiving roles in our society. These are essential to our communities. Caregiving is infrastructure, by the way, but it has too often been uncompensated and underappreciated. So right now, you know, some right now seem caught up in what is and isn't infrastructure. In partnership with you all, I'm clear on my mission and my purpose. I'm responsive to the needs of, and I'm actively listening to those closest to the pain. And we have got to take on a once in a generation infrastructure package. In order to do that effectively, we have got to go big. This is not the time to moderate, to scale back. We have to meet the scale and scope of the challenges our communities face, and we have to invest in our people. And we can't be limited by empty talking points about austerity. Austerity is violence. Now, it's funny how Republicans never ask how we pay for the endless wars we wage around the globe. No one offers a refrain about austerity in good faith. We can invest $1 billion the last 2 decades to grow our school police force to 46,000 strong, but every child doesn't have equitable access to a school nurse, a social worker, or a guidance counselor. So, you know, I'll tell you how we pay for these things. I'll tell you how we pay to take care of our people and strengthen our communities. We make the ultra wealthy corporations pay their fair share. They rely on our works, our roads, our bridges, our caregivers, and it's long past time that they chip in. Now, in a pandemic where families have struggled to afford diapers and put food on the table, billionaires have only, I can't even believe that's a word that exists, but billionaires have only gotten richer. Not only is that unjust, but it doesn't have to be that way. Another world is possible. We can chart a different path forward. We have an opportunity and a responsibility to apply pressure and bring about fundamental change to reduce the racial wealth gap, to end poverty, and to get us on track for a more equitable future. When the history books are written, people will ask us, what did we do to help the country recover from a pandemic and to reverse these longstanding injustices? Now, together, if we remain focused on the work, I hope that they will say, when history is recorded, that we met the moment. So I thank you all for what you do in community each and every day. It is my honor to not only represent many of you in Congress, but to stand shoulder to shoulder to you in solidarity and doing the work of ushering in peace in a transformative and sustainable way. And I just thank you for what you do day in and day out. And thank you for being nimble and for the accommodation of allowing me to do this right off of the House floor. I hope the next time I will at least be able to be on camera unmasked. And I look forward to when we can all physically be in community together once again. I thank each and every one of you for being a source of strength and inspiration. Thank you for being my partners. Thank you for holding me accountable. Thank you for being activists, agitators, disruptors, justice, and peace seekers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Representative.
Thank you so much, Representative Pressley. Just really powerful words, and looking forward to hopefully getting to see you next time. But thank you so much for joining us and for all of your work and your leadership. And I know I feel really honored to be able, I'm not even in Massachusetts, I'm in New York, but I feel really honored to be able to work alongside you and so many of your colleagues. We need us fighting on both ends. So